All right, we should be live any second now. And here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar911-970. As always, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say, and hopefully you will listen with an open mind, and maybe, if anything, get you to question certain things that you see in the news media and all around this crazy upside down world we seem to be living in the past year or so. It is currently 2:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the last day of January 31st, 2017. Already the months are going by quick, and I want to talk a little bit about some hypocrisy that you see in the mainstream media, and especially with these elitist Hollywood hypocrites. And I'm going to explain. So I hope you will at least listen to what I have to say um, before you dislike the video, and just see with an open mind and see what you think about it. Now, I don't know who these two are. They're supposedly actors and actresses. I don't follow Hollywood anymore, or what I'd like to call Hollywood, because it's just irrelevant to me after they showed their card in the past year of how they are basically using their celebrity status for political agendas, and it's all pretty much one-sided. But these two were at some award show, and again, I don't follow them, so I don't know which one, nor do I really care. But you could see they made a big stink about what, well, not a stink, but they made a big statement about what she wrote on her chest. And also you could see the sign that they carry. And they're talking about the refugees and how you let them in. So she wrote on her chest, let them in. And obviously the person that she's with, refugees welcome. Now that sounds wonderful, right? Now obviously we want a world where it's safe for everybody. We want unity and harmony, and that's great. But in this world, we know there are some evil people. It's unfortunate, but there are people who like to do harm, whether that is making fun of people or as bad as murdering people. We know that there are people that are this way. It's unfortunate. So the days of yesteryear where anybody can just go into any country, it's got to change. It's a different type of world we live in right now. It's unfortunate, but again, because they're evil people, we have to make sure that evil people are not going to come in and do harm to people. We have to understand that. So the whole welcome everybody in sounds wonderful, but let me ask you this. How many of these Hollywood celebrities and these millionaire tycoons and all these people that go on the television to make you feel guilty or tell you how much we all need to unify, how many of these people that are going to come into this country will be living in Beverly Hills next door to these celebrities? How many of these camps that they want to set up are going to be located in Hollywood? How many of these wealthy people who preach unity and welcome refugees will be welcoming them into their home other than to mow their lawn and dust their fancy statues? So I want you to think about that really quick. Now, I want you to see something, and I'm just going to show some images here. So give me a second to put the screen capture on. But we're going to show a whole bunch of celebrities' homes. So here we are, home after home of wealthy people. Here's one that shows, what's her face? Hilton. Look at all these wonderful homes. Now, one thing you don't notice, I mean, here's a bigger shot. You don't see any camps of people from Syria or, well, any country. So basically what they're telling you, oh, look at that nice open field. You don't see any refugees anywhere near them. There's another open view. Look at that beautiful mansion and not one refugee, not one person. And you could go picture after picture. And the only minorities pretty much you will see that are not wealthy are mowing lawns, driving their cars, doing odd jobs, bringing them their laundry, getting their food for them. I mean, look at this nice little house here. Not one vetted person that they want to let in. So basically, the hypocrisy is they talk about how we need to let in all of these people, which sounds wonderful, and it's another leftist political agenda. it should truthfully, the sign, what she wrote on the chest should say, let them in, just not in my backyard. So you ever notice what the hypocrisy is? That they talk about all this unity and togetherness and, oh, those poor people, we need to get them in. I mean, look at the children. And they talk about how they're actually verifying if somebody has been a terrorist and coming in illegally. I mean, whether you believe the whole 9/11 story the way it happened or not, and I'm not here to debate that at this point, supposedly people from other countries came into this country, learned how to fly, and flew planes into buildings. Now, if you believe the way it was, hey, you want to believe an official story, that's for you. But my point is, if 90% of the people who believe anything they're told go by how the story was portrayed, we had people coming into this country illegally who wanted to do harm, learned how to fly in this country, and then took that knowledge and attacked us. Now, obviously, you're not going to get everybody. And obviously, we cannot live in fear. I've been saying this for so long. But just because you don't live in fear doesn't mean you shouldn't observe the world and, you know your surroundings. Because you could be driving down a road you've been driving down a million times and be very familiar with it, not scared of it all. And then one day there could be a flash flood, or there could be the road just crumbles and all of a sudden the bridge is out where you normally crossed it millions of times. So it's kind of nice to know your surroundings just to be careful. Nothing wrong with that. But what I have a problem with, and what people should have a problem with, is the fact that these Hollywood people, these elitist people, these multi-millionaire people who go on camera to basically entertain you, in other words, pretend to be something they're not, and they have this political agenda that makes it sound like, yes, we need to love everybody. We need to accept everybody for who they are. We really need to bring in every single person on the planet. What do you think that's going to do to our economy if you think about it? And why is it always just this country? But like I said, go look at any map of any celebrity homes. Look at all the places where all the billionaires gather. And you'll notice one thing they don't have is any poor communities. And a lot of people that are coming in from other countries are not millionaires. They tend to be leaving because they can't afford where they're living. Millions of people around the world make very little money. What we would find absolutely disgustingly low. Like you're talking dollars a day at best. So the poor are coming here to try and have a better life, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But you ever notice these elites and these wealthy people, all the people in government, they just don't want it in their neighborhood. So instead of, for example, how many homeless people do we have in whatever major city you live in? Are they trying to give them homes, or are they just trying to relocate them? I mean, if you look throughout the world, there are places now where they will purposely put up bumps and spikes in areas where people that were homeless would sleep for the night. And instead of trying to give them food and give them homes, they build spikes so they can't lay down. And I used to work in Manhattan, and I see what they do with the homeless. They don't want to fix the problem. They just want to, hey, we don't want to see you, move along. In other words, go somewhere else. So please, ladies and gentlemen, think about the bigger picture. It's wonderful if you want to worship some celebrity. If you're ridiculous enough to want to do that and hang on every word some famous person has to say when they're just basically being paid to read a cue card, it's ridiculous. And also, what's his name? I think it's Schumer. I live in New York, so I know all about Schumer. And the fact that he tried to put on this crying thing the other day, as soon as I saw it, I shut it off. Did he cry at any other event? All these things that are happening, and he's going to put on these crocodile tears? So when Trump actually said he believed he was faking, I thoroughly believe it, because as soon as I saw them, like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. Working the camera. I guarantee you Schumer does not have one of these people that will come into this country living anywhere near him. So they want nothing to do with them. They want them in your backyard. They want it to raise your taxes or to lower your property values, but don't put them in Hollywood. Don't put them in Beverly Hills. Don't put them in all the fancy little spas and clubs and stores that they have all along these very wealthy places. Don't put them out in the Hamptons. Don't put them out in all the fancy places all around the world where all the beautiful people go and all the wealthy people go, but they'll make you feel guilty if you don't let them in. So if you don't see the hypocrisy of what Hollywood is doing and their clear agenda, it is very disappointing. Now, of course, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. Just respect the fact that I have the choice and the ability and the freedom to make my opinion. And my thing is, you know what? If you don't like it, that's fine. What I would hope for is you would spend your time and your energy going to places that resonate with you better. But as you could see, like I said earlier, there are evil people everywhere, including places like YouTube. They're going to be anonymous people who will want to spread harm and hatred and negativity just because of the simple fact is they can. And this is the kind of world that we're living in right now. And Hollywood is stepping in, trying to be the savior. And all these millionaires who I guarantee you, whatever award show that was, I guarantee you they weren't sitting next to some petty commoner regular person. They weren't sitting next to some person that came in from Syria or came in from Mexico or came in from anywhere else in the world. They were probably sitting next to another millionaire so they could feel safe. So you ever hear the expression that they talk about, do as I say, not as I do? So they preach a lot, but they don't practice what they preach. And for some reason, millions of people put these individuals on a pedestal, like somehow they are superhuman, and we're just the common people who should really bow down to them. I refuse to ever let that happen. And I hope you won't either. So I'm not going to make this video too long. I want to hear what you have to say. Leave your comments. Let's hear what you think about this. I mean, I know people that come to channels like mine, they're going to say things like, oh, Hollywood is irrelevant. To us, it is. But to millions of people, they hang on every word that they say. I mean, just go to some celebrity's Twitter account and see they can just say, I tied my shoes today. It will have 1,000 likes and 1,000 shares within the first hour. Unfortunately, people, their priorities are just in the wrong places. And this is why I have this channel, and I enjoy stirring the pot, making you think for yourself. You don't have to believe everything I say. You don't have to like everything I say. But at least know that my videos are never scripted. No one's telling me what to say. I'm not reading off a cue card, and I am definitely not trying to create any form of agenda or say you need to follow me or believe in me or even like me. You can absolutely hate me, but if you appreciate my message and it helps you to think in a different way, then that's a good thing, and that's what this world really needs. So with that being said, thank you very much for listening to what I have to say. I hope you will leave a comment, thumb it up or thumb it down, whatever floats your boat and makes you happy. Get out of the banking system, stay out of debt, cut up your credit cards, get a Federal Credit Union account, get your things like physical gold and silver. Think for yourself, never be afraid to question, and see the bigger picture of these things. These two individuals, whoever the heck they are, I could care less. Whatever award show they're at, I could give a damn. But what I'm saying is, if they want to let them in, let's let some of them live next door to them and see if they still want more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And say it with me. Don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.